Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Born and dead, saved by love. Count my blessings from above. Though in darkness, have no fear. Light will shine on those holding near. They know that sorrow they will pass. For I know in this life there will be something. But remember that love, yes it will. Love will reign. Yeah. Love will reign. Yeah. In my heart, I believe it. Love will reign. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Have a vision. It's clear and plain. People living life, smiling again. Oh, see the children, they know no pain. Far from pressure, stress and strain. Oh, sorrow, they will pass. For I know in this life there's gonna be some pain. But remember that love, yes it will. I know. Yeah. Love will reign. Gotta believe it. In my heart, I truly believe. Sun will shine again, and love, I can hardly wait. We'll all be together. There'll be peace, peace, sweet peace, happiness and joy forever. Oh, yeah. One day, someday, pain will be over and love will reign. They won't last, for I know in this life there's gonna be some pain. In the end, love will reign.
Love will reign. I'm Marcus Holmes, and I am excited that you're joining me, whether you're joining me on TikTok Live, YouTube, Facebook, here from Facebook Live, on Instagram, on Twitch TV. I'm grateful that you're here another Tuesday. And won't you take a moment out to click share, tag five of your closest connections, followers, subscribers, or friends, five of the more popular ones to join us in tonight's discussion. Again, we're coming from the inbox. And just before we do that, I want to encourage you to click share and tag some folks to join us, whichever platform you're on. I want to take a moment out to shout out to all of those love groups on Facebook, all of those friends on TikTok, all of those subscribers on YouTube, all of our friends on Twitch, and of course, our friends on Instagram. I'm excited to be here and to have you here. It's a brand new year, and there's so many things happening. Some things don't seem as good as others. You have to forgive me. I'm tired of seeing my t-shirt. Some of those things don't seem as good as others. Some foolishness seems to be happening in Washington, but I want to still have people thrive in 2025. Everybody has a slogan, right? And I want to make sure that people are able to experience the kind of love that they seek in 2025. So every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m., we come and talk about love and stuff. Love from the quintessential love, who is God. Love from the love of yourself as your expression, response to God's love for you, and in response to your love for yourself, to love your neighbor as yourself. And if you find yourself anywhere in that equation, you've happened upon a wonderful community of people who want to up their love game, who are seeking to go to the next level in love. That love might be more love to thee, O Christ, right? That love might be more love for myself, or embracing that God has ordained me as worthy, and I'm worthy of the love to experience. That might mean I got to work on loving myself so that when I call myself loving others, that the love that I have for them will be aligned. The love that I have for them can be positioned to be reciprocated. And so we're all about all things love in the Love and Stuff community. And love comes in many different facets. It's tough, it's layered, it's complex, it's wonderful, it's joyous, it's painful, and yet we all want and need love. I don't think I've met anybody who was really realistic with themselves saying, I don't need love. That might be your defense mechanism. That might be your go to because you feel so unworthy. But everyone wants and needs love. We're created in the image of love, we're created in the likeness of love. So it is no guess that you and I need love as the fuel to live, to exist, to thrive in this world, and to thrive in 2025. So click share, tag someone to join us. I want to just share with you. I'm going to try to get the topic pinned in a couple of different places so that I won't have to repeat. That always helps us. But this is yet again another topic from the inbox. So bear patient with me. I'm going to pull up that topic from the inbox. And it's another topic around love. We invite you to send your topics and questions to our inboxes across all platforms. And what we do is we maintain anonymity. If you decide that you want to share a topic, but you don't want your name, your city, your state, but you want your question, you want your situation, you'd like to get some help, some perspective. That's what we do here in the Love and Stuff community when we go into the inbox and choose topics to discuss. And so tonight we'll be choosing a topic from the inbox. And, we have a part of our brand, a signature part of our brand that talks about making your love be front and center. And you can't expect that you're going to have the kind of love where you can thrive in 2025 if you don't have your love front and center. So oftentimes we're expecting love to find us, but we haven't found ourselves in a space where we're willing to give love, to be love, to accept love in a way that might be slightly different than what we may know of it at some other point in time. So we're going to get into the topic from the inbox. We're talking to a woman. She's got degrees. She's got a six-figure salary, high six-figure salary. She's got the luxury place, condo. She's got the skyline view. But when it comes to love, I wish I had the sound, I'd make it crickets. Okay. And we're going to unpack some hard truths. We think about this because I want you to ask yourself, if you're in the market for love, are you really searching for love? Or are you just saying you are? Is it convenient to say, I'm open and available to love? Or are you really in the market, really searching for love? If you're working like this person, 60, 70 hours a week, keeping your gifts to yourself and making every man or woman feel like they're an unnecessary expense, are you truly making space for love, for a relationship? So I want to read the topic and I'm going to pin it across platforms and then we'll jump into the topic. Plus, there are some points that I think, some tips for our person in the inbox that I think will help her and potentially help you if you're in the market, but yet you haven't quite made that room for love. I'm going to fix that t-shirt in a minute. She writes, Peace, King. I need some real talk. I keep hearing people say, I don't make room for a relationship. But what does that even mean? I've done the work. I'm educated, successful, and self sufficient. I love my people. I'm tapped into my culture, and I refuse to lower my standards. But I'll be real with you. I'm 37, and my relationships never seem to last beyond 6 months. The men I date say I'm too busy or too independent, but that's just who I am. I work 60 to 65, to 70 hours a week, but that's because I'm securing the life I deserve. I have hobbies, I cook, I travel, but why should I have to perform for love? And when I do go out, I'm not waiting on a man to pay my way. I need to understand, am I the problem or is the dating pool really just this shallow? And she later said in the inbox, filled with pee. Help me. Help me see what I am missing. So I'm going to pin that topic across various platforms because I want you to have that topic. Now, I don't know how to pin it quite on TikTok because it only takes so many characters. But I want to hear from you. And I'm going to pin this topic across platforms because I want to hear from you. What do you say? Does this make sense to you? That can anybody relate to this? That you got this reservation about making time for love, making space in your life for love. Is that you? I want to hear from you as I'm pinning the topic across platforms. Scott, thank you for joining us. God bless, my dear friend. Still praying for you and the loss of your dad, passing of your dad. I really appreciate our connection, even though we don't get to connect very often. I want you to know I'm thinking of you and thinking of your dad, thinking of your family during this time of loss. All right. I want to hear from you. What do you say about making room in your life for love? All right. Making room in your life for love. Are you making room in your life? I'm pinning the topic. So give me a moment. I don't know if that will get it pinned on. Let's see. Okay. I think I got it pinned. Uh-oh. Did it pin? Oh, it is pinned. Okay. I'm see if I can get it pinned on Instagram and then I'll be done with the pinning. I want to hear from you. And while you're coming in, I see some are coming in and out. Drop in the comments, where are you? Like Scott Bliss has dropped in the comments, says amen, but he's here in Michigan. Where are you? Drop in the comments wherever you are. Let's see if I can get to myself. Uh-oh. See if it'll let me get to myself. All right, it didn't. Okay, for some reason I'm having trouble getting there. We'll fix that in a second if it lets me. There we go. Hello, Jersey Girl 66. I'm trying to all right. Cross platform. It's not sharing my stuff with me. Okay, it doesn't do it there. I'm trying to pin the comments. It's not letting me do that. Okay, it's a little different here, I think. All right, I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. Thank you for your patience. And I'm going to then share it. All right, it's not quite hooking me up here, but okay, there we go. All right, I'm gonna go back to my. All right, let me see. All right, so I'm gonna read the topic one more time, and you'll forgive me as I pop between pages. All right, I'm navigating uh, executive producing. Peace, King, she says. I need some real talk. I keep hearing people say I don't make room for a relationship, but what does that even mean? I've done the work. I'm educated, successful, and self sufficient. I love my people. I'm tapped into my culture, and I refuse to lower my standards. But I'll be real with you. I'm 37, and my relationships never seem to last beyond 6 months, she says. The men I date say I'm too busy or too independent, but that's just who I am, she writes. I work 65 to 70 hours a week, but that's because I'm securing the life I deserve. I have hobbies. I cook, I travel, but why should I have to perform for love? And when I do go out, I'm not waiting on a man to pay my way. I need to understand, am I the problem, or is the dating pool really just this shallow? And later in the inbox, she said, filled with pee. Help me see what I'm missing. You know, a lot of things jumped out to me about this topic. And one of the things that I immediately, sometimes the thing that strikes me the most, I don't know if you're that way, when someone's talking to you or someone's writing something to you, have you ever just migrated to the thing that resonated with you the most, or jumped out at you and said that thing first? Sometimes I do that. And when she said, am I the problem? That jumped out at me because we're often self-diagnosing and not really delving into maybe asking the right questions. And I don't know if am I the problem is the question that I want her to ask of herself. I want her to ask her of herself, am I living as the solution? Am I contributing to what I want the solution to be? Is the solution a relationship? And if so, am I contributing to that? What am I bringing to life or to the space of the people that I meet that brings to them solution? Maybe the solution is camaraderie or companionship. And instead of self-diagnosing what's wrong with you, hey, you should figure out the things that are wrong with you, but there's something wrong with everybody. No one is perfect. And so I didn't want her to get into this space of just self-diagnosis without self-reflection. Because sometimes this is the problem, this is the problem, this is the problem. Well, how did you get there of diagnosing this as a problem? And how do you get to the place where you say, how did I get to this being a problem? How did I get to where I am today? And I think that's important. An important part of this love quotient. How much love are you putting out in the world over the amount of love that you've been given? Now, listen, I don't think in the denominator, I don't think you could ever have more in the numerator, think about fractions, than there is in the denominator, because I believe in the denominator is all the love that God is. Can you enumerate that? Absolutely not. So you'll never get more love on top than is undergirding you, than is the foundation for you. Now, you may not tap fully into that foundation, and I guess that's another show. But I think the love quotient is the amount of love that you're putting out in the world based on the amount of love that you have been given. I don't think you can give more love than you've been given. Okay. Even though we seek sometimes to measure the amount of love, we ration it out just enough, not too much, because you don't feel like you're getting too much. But you can never give more than you've been given. You've already been given more than you can give. All right. But I want to break it down a little bit as I tried to with her, and I offered her some tips, and I want to share it with you. Where do I get these tips from? I'm so glad you asked. I am not a relationship coach. I'm a life coach, certified. I am not a love guru, a loveologist. I do not have a degree in love, relationships, and all of that. I don't. What I've done over my short life is synthesize information from the relationships of people around me, successful marriages and some that weren't successful, some that ended in divorce, some that ended in death, some that are going for 60 years, some that only made 6 months, some relationships that weren't marriage or covenant, as we might traditionally call them, but stayed together for 17 years as common law, and synthesize that information to share with people. And I've been sharing that a long time, was successful in putting together 17 couples when I was doing that. I'm 17 for 17 to this day. Those 17 couples are together. And I'm not saying it's because of me, because I might have just introduced a couple. I may not have put them together, right? What God puts together, no man puts asunder, right? But I gathered this information because I've always been fascinated, interested, invested in, committed to love. Even if I'm not in a love relationship as you might define it, being love, ooh, booed up. I fully feel loved. I fully seek to love. And I realize that in my life, in different stages of my life, I'm going to be in different stages of love. But I love to see love happening, and I love to see people in love, and I love to see people loving God, loving themselves, and loving others. So that's where that comes from. And so I garnered some of those tips. And I want you to think about these tips in this way. And you can call them the 3 T's of love when you're making room for love in your life. You know, it's the beginning of the year, and a lot of people have New Year's resolutions, or I'm going to do more this year. And I say everyone should thrive in 2025, even though we got this 47 in office. That's a whole nother show. Can't wait for the For the Love of Justice team to come and talk about it. But there is still room in your life for exponential growth in the area of love, self-love, your love for God, embracing his love for you, and loving your neighbor, loving your community, loving your people, right? There's so much work to be done, but there's so much opportunity for you to thrive in 2025. But I realized that there are people who start out in the beginning of the year and they left last year and they weren't in a relationship. I kicked something. And so they're feeling bad about not being in a relationship, right? Because everybody wants to feel that love. Everyone wants to be loved. Hello, Wise Productions. Everyone wants to experience this love, right? And some people want to reconnect to an ex-spouse, to a sister or brother who they've fallen out with, to a parent who they haven't spoken with in years. Everyone starts out the year saying, I'm going to do better. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to gain weight. I'm going to build muscle mass. I'm going to work out. I started out last year working out. I'm still working out, but not as much as I had started out, right? And so I'm committed to reinvigorating my workout and getting into that gym, paying that gym membership I'm paying for, right? People start out the year, and we're in the 28th day of the year so far, with goals, commitments, objectives of doing better, right? Thriving in the best ways you can in 2025. And so if that's you, I just knocked the phone over. If that's you, so that I'm looking at my TikTok comments because those don't come through. If that's you, I want you to consider this if any of your desire is around making room for love. Now, I'm not saying to anyone that you should not live the life that you want to live as it relates to your finances, right? A man that doesn't work doesn't eat, right? So some kind of work you're going to typically do, right? Even if you've got passive income, you're going to have some work going on. But you do have to make room, and we typically do make room in our lives for the things that we want and want to experience. So I want to break it down these 3 T's of love when you're trying to make room in your life for love. Do you have room in your life for love? Are you making room? Are you making excuses? Are you selling yourself a narrative that love is not available to you because you don't have time, because you don't have room? Your life is too full. You might need to take inventory and ask yourself, am I too full? What am I full of? Should I be making room? All right. So I'm going to go into breaking it down in the 3 T's. Okay. And they are time, talent, and treasure. You need to make room in your time, with your talent, with your treasure. And I know ladies are saying, oh, hold on a minute. Hold on, love activists. These are areas of your life where sometimes, quite oftentimes, we kind of hoard or we are not allowing people to have access to these areas for various reasons, okay? Various reasons, right? So time is the first one. You can't make love manifest. You can't make love manifest. You can't manifest love if you don't make room with your time. You cannot build and deepen connections. You cannot have conversations. You cannot understand convictions and make sure your conviction, your belief and values are congruent unless you invest some time. I know you're busy. You got 11 jobs, you got 2 kids, one is in school, you're doing homework, you're doing college, you're teaching, you're singing, you're dancing, you're doing all that you're doing. But those are all choices of what you have decided to do with your time. Of course, children, caregiving for parents, those are typically non-negotiables, right? You are going to be self-sacrificing when it comes to your children, to your parents, if you've ever was a caregiver. But you still have to make time. You eat, don't you? You say barely. You sleep, don't you? You commute, don't you? You have to take an inventory of what you are doing with your time. And I always tell people as a life coach, I do life coaching on 3 principles, if you will. Change your language, change your life. Okay, that's number 1. If you can change your language, you can change your behavior, you can change your steps, and you can change the trajectory of your life by simply changing your language. I believe it. I've seen it. I've experienced it. I've watched it. You can do it. So if you change your language and say, I do have room in my life for love. I do have room in my life for a partner. I do have room in my life for my long lost sister. I do have room in my life for love. See, what happens is when you call out to a thing, your actions and behaviors start to go to war against it. And you know who normally wins? The one that gets most of your energy and attention. So if you keep saying the same thing over and over again, it's going to call to your actions. So when you say, I do have room for my sister, but you're not picking up the phone to call your sister, those 2 things go at war until the one that is done more frequent and consistently begins to win. That's how you change behavior. You talk over the behavior until you're at war with your behavior. Till you're saying, I'm going to lose weight, but then you got a hoagie in your hand. I'm going to lose weight, hoagie. I'm going to lose weight. This don't make no sense. I ain't going to lose weight. Oh, yes, you are. You start to command your actions by what you say. So you'd have to say, I do have time. Okay. So the first thing I say, change your language, change your life. The second principle I teach is organize your life. And that's the one I wanted to bring you to for this one. The unorganized life has so much time in it, it can't even tell the time that it's wasting. So when you organize your life, you start to see what you are wasting time on, and you can redistribute that time to the things that are more productive and really matter. Okay, I've got a high proficiency model. If you go to the Stand Store, maybe I'll throw up a link later. There's this high proficiency model, moving your life from chaos to clarity. And in it, I talk about how you should divvy up your time, how you should measure your time, and you'll be surprised at how much time you're wasting. Did you know that people waste on average 21 days a year? 21 whole days a year are wasted. Think about that. If you had 21 days, that's almost 24, right? That's almost 2 days a month. 2 days a month, if you, I mean, 2 full days, two 24-hour days. Think of it this way. If you spread that time across the month, that's enough time for you to build a relationship and connection with somebody that you want to date. Think of it that way. You waste 21 days, almost 24. I rounded it up. So that's almost 2 days a month, right? If there are 12 months in a year, 2 days a month, two 24-hour days. Think about it now. You waste two 24-hour days. Sometimes we waste time trying to get to sleep. Anybody ever waste that time? You got into bed at 9, but you didn't go to sleep until 12, and you were just restless and moving around. You never went to sleep. You turned the TV on, turn it off. That's a waste of time. So let's say that 2 days a month, 24 hours, if you spread that across the month, you'd have time to have coffee with somebody, go to a movie with somebody, have dinner with somebody, take a long walk with somebody, cook together. You have time, but you must organize your life in a way that you are making the time for what you want to do. So the tips are: schedule dating like you schedule meetings. If you're putting hours into work, but none into romance, you're making your love life an afterthought, or you're making your love, desire, family, friends, whatever, an afterthought. It will not just happen at some point through the year. We're going to get together. You're not going to get together unless you make time. So if you're putting hours into work and none into those love relationships, your love relationships are an afterthought. Okay? You need to block off time as if it's sacred for the purpose of connection, just like you would for a high value client. Okay? So schedule your dating like you schedule meetings, like you schedule a pitch with a client, like you schedule an interview. Schedule time. Do not make love relationships or your desire to have them an afterthought. Okay? We're talking about how you might disrupt this. I don't have room in my life. You do have room in your life. If you take inventory of your life, you're going to see there are things that you do that are not the best use of time, especially if you don't want love relationships to be an afterthought. All right. And so then tip number 2 for the time as a disruption to making room. We say, I ain't got time for no relationship. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that. You have time for what you desire. And when your desire aligns with that willingness to be open, that willingness to do it differently, you will be surprised that love will not be an afterthought. Tip 2, which I think is a wonderful one that I've learned over time: understand that quality time isn't just about you showing up. It's about being mentally and emotionally present. Think about your interactions. If you're always tired, frustrated, irritated, distracted, drained, or on your phone, you are really physically there, but emotionally absent. And so you're not having quality time in those 45 minutes of time that you're commuting with your partner, which is a great time for quality time, to talk about your dreams, to talk about your aspirations, to laugh about memories, to plan out the next rendezvous or whatever time together. But if you're looking at your notes for your case, if you're listening to the Breakfast Club, God bless the Breakfast Club. If you're doing something else and you're not fully present, you're not engaged, you're not emotionally connected in those moments, then you're physically present, but you're emotionally absent, perhaps. So understand that quality time isn't just about you being there, being a presence. It's being present while being a present. You're present, but you're a gift. You know, the Right Reverend Dr. Carlisle Fielding Stewart says it this way: your presence is a gift. Thank you, he would say, for the gift, and he often says, for the gift of your presence. Well, be present in that present. When they unwrap you, as Elder Tabitha Goodner will say, I don't know if she'll come through here. When they unwrap you, be present. Say, I'm here. Jump out the cake. Be fully present. And that's a way of disrupting this. I don't have time. I can't make room. I don't have room in my life. You do. You have room to make better love to your partner by, I'm going to use this word, grooming, by nurturing, better than grooming, nurturing the relationship as you all are driving to work, as you're dropping your partner work, if you carpool and go together. What sweet enough things are you talking on the way to work about what will happen when you get home, or what will happen tomorrow because you're not going to get home when you're going to get home and she sleep or he sleep? What are you doing to nurture, to water, to cultivate those quality moments by being present? Put down the phone. Turn off the radio unless it's the music that puts you in the mood and you won't crash, right? Make it so that it is you and them, and that you're fully present in those moments to connect deeply for quality time. These are 2 tips in using time as a disruptor when you are giving yourself the excuse, I don't have time. If you're like the average person and you've wasted 21 days in the year, you, my friend, have time. You must make a better usage of your time. All right. And so the number one disruptor is time. Disrupt this notion of, I don't have room in my life for a relationship. I don't have room in my life to make it better with my siblings. I don't have time. You have time. Disrupt it. Okay. Number 2 is talent. Okay. And I want you to think of talent in this way, not just what you're good at, that's part of it, right? And me being a human resources professional, I couldn't help but think of the example of talent. We're always talking about talent management and talent density and talent acquisition, right? Talent development, right? But I want you to think of it this way. Love is built, Susie, in shared experiences, not just your solo pursuits. So use what you're good at, use what you're interested in, use what you have a passion around to connect. I often say when I am talking to people, asking them to challenge themselves to sit in the center of their passion, one of the reasons that I tell them, and I'm sharing with you, that you should sit in the center of your passion is because, do you know that you are most engaged and thereby most attractive when you are in the center of your passion? You ought to see yourself when you're singing. You ought to see yourself when you're doing that thing that nobody can do like you do it. You're the most attractive. You're magnetic when you are sitting in the center of your passion. So thus the goal is to live more authentically and more fully in the center of the best of who you are. You know where the best of who you are is, and you know why you dress up, you make up, you live up when you are sitting in the center of that passion, because you feel the best about yourself when you're doing your thing, your mojo, your swing, your swag. You know what that is. And others do too, because they love seeing you that way. They love experiencing you that way. So, in the flow of your talent, make room to connect with others who are watching you, admiring you, and checking you out. Make space if you're a chef to cook something special for him or her. Okay? Invite someone into your kitchen. Invite someone into the break room. Bring a hot plate to work. Bring a hot plate to the gym. Whatever it is that is your spice, your flair, whatever it is that makes you sit up, stand up, lift up, bring it into the flow of connections. It will say, here I am in the center of the best of me, and I'm willing to attract. I'm willing to be a magnet. And watch, you will see that you will make time and room because it's already in the flow of the good things that you do. If you sing, you're a musician, invite someone to come hear you play or give them a private session. I mean, music, film at 11. Give them a private session of your gift. It's a way to disrupt this. I don't have time and I don't have room in my life. You're already in the flow of the very best things that you do. Use that time, that gift, that skill, that talent to connect with others. And you will connect more meaningfully. You will connect more deeply with them. If you love traveling, if you are the travel agent, the travel guru, you find every deal, you got perks, you got miles, plan a trip and invite someone instead of going solo. And maybe instead of just your girlfriends or your homies, invite someone who would enjoy the place that you're going. Might be just a weekend getaway, but invite someone. Because listen, your gifts should be a bridge for relationships, not a barrier. Your gifts should bridge you to people. Your gifts should draw people to you. You know, the Bible says your gifts will bring you before great men. Your gifts should be a magnet. Your skills should be a magnet for others to begin to engage with you, converse with you, and enjoy the experience with you. And when you do that, you will make more room for that in your life because you will enjoy being your most authentic self. And believe me, you are the most attractive you will ever be when you are being your authentic self, living in the center of your passion. I believe that where your passion and your purpose connect, that's where you're sitting in the center of your passion. Where your power, and your purpose connect, that's where you're sitting in the center of your passion. The thing that you do very well, and it is connected to why you are here on earth in this earth school, when those two collide or cross, intersect, that's the center of your passion. And when you sit there, when you live there, when you walk there, when you stride there, when you switch there, when you swag there, you begin to draw people. You'll become a magnet for people to see your authentic self, and they crave that experience. And you know that if someone is craving to be with you, craving your experience, and you have healthy esteem, you're going to want more of it. And you will make room in your life. So that's number 2. So not only do you want to disrupt this pattern, this thinking, this narrative that I don't have time. I don't want to make room in my life. I don't have time for that. I can't make room. You have time and you have talent. Okay? I want you to think about those two, and I want you to click share The six-figure dad. Hey, sir. He says the signal is somewhat delayed. I apologize. I'm going through Restream over there on TikTok, so I hope it works out. It hasn't been um, quite right since the brownout over there. You know what I mean? But I'm going to take a quick pause for the cause because I want you to know about June Rochelle Eaton, and I will in the coming weeks. Here in the Detroit area, she is one of our partners, DetroitCouture.com. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a fantastic online boutique. She has a location here in the metro area, but wherever you are around the world, she can ship some of these fantastic pieces to you. But June is not just about fashion. She is forward thinking and helping women stand in their truth, helping couples, helping families get into homes. And she's having a special event during Valentine's Day weekend. And I want to share information about that with you, which I will come back and share some. But I'm right now going to play you a little bit from Detroit Couture, because I know that she has pieces, fellas, that you want to have your ladies in. And ladies, you don't want to miss being in these pieces as well.
Hi, my
Detroit
name is June
Couture.
Rochelle, and I own Detroit Couture. We are a fashion forward women's boutique, and we offer friendly sizes from small all the way up to 3X women's sizes, very generously fit, very great quality. I actually have on one of our pieces today. It's called the Cuffed Up. It's in gray, burgundy, and black and olive, and it actually has a lot of stretch and give. So listen, in this time, we try to make sure that first of all, it's quality and customer service that we offer our clients. And I'm so glad to have this opportunity to share with you. So go and visit us at DetroitCouture.com.
DetroitCouture.com. That's June Rochelle Eaton. She is an amazing partner here in the Love and Stuff community. We so appreciate her. And I want you to go to DetroitCouture.com tonight to see some of the beautiful pieces. And next week, we will start to share with you about her event. She and the Glam Doctor, Rashida the Glam Doctor Williams, are having an amazing event here locally. And I want to tell you all about it. And we appreciate her support, their support. They are amazing people. All right. We're talking from the inbox, which the topic is pinned in the inbox. That I will just read one more time before we go to the last point. Peace, King. I need some real talk. I keep hearing people say I don't make room for relationships, but what does that even mean? I've done the work. I'm educated, successful, and self-sufficient. I love my people. I'm tapped into my culture, and I refuse to lower my standards. But I'll be real with you. I'm 37, and my relationships never seem to last beyond 6 months. The men I date say I'm too busy or too independent, but that's just who I am. I work 65 to 70 hours a week, but that's because I'm securing the life I deserve. I have hobbies. I cook, I travel, but why should I have to perform for love? And when I do go out, I'm not waiting on a man to pay my way. I need to understand, am I the problem, or is the dating pool really just this shallow? Help me see what I'm missing. So I'm offering her some tips, breaking it down with the 3 T's of love from things I've synthesized over the years. And in the first disruption is time. You got to think about how you can manifest love, but you can't do it unless you make room. So you got to schedule dating like you schedule meetings, and understand that quality time is about being present when you're present, emotionally present. The second one is talent. Love is built in shared experiences, not just solo pursuits. So you got to use your skills to connect. And then tip 2 of this talent, you got to be vulnerable enough to share what you love with someone else. So it's easy to keep that favorite quirky hobby to yourself. It's easy to keep that thing that you think everybody might not be into to yourself, but the connections in your life will grow when you let someone into your world in a meaningful way through a meaningful activity. So be vulnerable. Be vulnerable with your talent. If you love karaoke, let it rip. Sing. You love skating, but you're not really great at skating and you're not afraid to get out there and fall and you're not going to break anything, go skating. Do the things that will allow you to open up your vulnerability so that the person gets to really see who you are and gets to really experience your talents, sometimes even if they're your raw talents that are under polished or maybe not fully where you think it should be, that they will be able to then enjoy the experience of you. Okay, so number 2 is talent. And then number 3 is treasure. And this is, I saved the best for last in some regard, because I know it's difficult for people to think about treasure and sharing treasure, right? But listen, independence is beautiful. Being able to do for yourself, be for yourself is beautiful. But partnership is an exchange. There's a part of reciprocity, a part of being reciprocal that's important, that's germane, that's important and significant to building relationship. To thriving in relationships in 2025, the interdependence has to have an aspect of the independence rather has to have an aspect of interdependence, right? And while from our inbox, paying your own way, ladies, is admirable. It is. But listen, consistently rejecting a man's contributions, his assistance, can make him feel unnecessary. Many men, we want to fix things. We want to get things done. And when you make it tough or resist our help to do that, it will make us, some of us, feel unnecessary. Letting someone pour into you does not weaken your strength. It reinforces the interconnectivity and the interdependence and the partnership. I know, ladies, that's tough because I can be bad all by myself. I can do it myself. I got me. I can pay mine. Let's split it. All of that, as Autumn would tell me, all of that is good. Clock it. All of that is good. But remember, a man wants to contribute. A really good man does. He doesn't want to just rely on you. That should be a red flag for every woman, that a man just wants to rely on you. He might feel like he can rely on you. He might be glad that he can rely on you if he's down, but a man that just wants to rely on you, red flag. But hair on the back of your neck should stand up. A man wants to contribute to the relationships in ways that are going to make him feel necessary. And oftentimes that includes financially. And you got to be open to that because it reinforces the partnership. It allows you to be vulnerable enough to say, I trust you to pour into me at a measure that is at my standard or above. That's what you say when you allow a man to pour into you. Okay. And then tip 2 about the treasure: financial independence doesn't mean emotional detachment. Okay. So you got to be open to accepting gestures of care. Dinner, a gift, an act of service. Think of Gary Chapman's love languages. Because relationships thrive, they grow when both people feel needed and valued. Okay? So it's not just transactional, is what I'm saying in this tip. Don't think of him or you giving something as transactional, as a method of control, as a method of exerting control and being detached emotionally. This can be an outpouring of the affection that he has for you, and it may manifest itself in ways that require finances, but whose end goal isn't finance. It's to express through dinner the connection of sharing a meal. It's to express through a gift a symbol and token of his affection. It's to express through an act of service that maybe someone could have paid to do for you, but that he took the time to roll up his sleeves to do. Relationships thrive when both people feel valued. So as I think about this person in the inbox, and I think about her being 37, no children, desiring to have children. And as I told her, one of my dearest friends on this planet was 47 when she had our Anaya Paya. And so I believe that love can well up at any time in many different ways. So don't give up hope at 37, but she's 37, single, never married, six-figure earner, smashing the game in her career, and plugging a lot of time into that career. And I asked her if she had other things to plug time in, might she pull back? And she said she might. I'm challenging her and I'm challenging you that if you're coming into this year and you want to thrive in love relationships, you're going to have to give them time, your talent, and your treasure. You're going to have to make room to disrupt the narrative that you don't have room, you don't have time. Oh, yes, you do. You must find it. You must repurpose it, redistribute it, and savor it in relationship with those that you want to know, those that you want to love, and those that you want to love better. It won't happen typically through osmosis, just happen because time will happen. It requires some effort on your part to say, I'm going to change my language. Change your language, change your life, right? I'm going to organize my life. And then the third thing of the principles that I teach are set powerful intentions and go after them. I have mentioned earlier that Rashida, the glam doctor, she set a powerful intention that she's going to be married. And what happens when you set a powerful intention, where your attention goes, your energy flows. So you have to give your intention, what you intend to happen in 2025, you must give it some attention. You can't starve what you intend. You got to give it attention, because where your attention goes, that's where your energy flows. If you intend to thrive in your relationships in 2025, reconnect the broken relationships, forgive yourself and others for things that have happened, and move forward and move on. If you're open yourself to finding love along the natural path of your life, you're open to living in the center of your passion so that you can draw those as magnet, those that are seeking same and similar types of love. If you desire to have a thriving relationship or relationships in this year, you're going to have to make room for it. Don't make it Bogart into your life, bust through your doors, as it were. No, open those doors and make time, use your talent, and be vulnerable with your treasures. I put that pause there because we want you to be careful so that you are giving custody to those who are trustworthy of that vulnerability, right? But you have to make room in your life for what you say that you want. I'm so happy to be able to share that from the inbox. And I want to just share with you a few of the things here in the Love and Stuff community. We have many wonderful things, among them the gratefulness journey every day is the book that's on Amazon. Now, I really am vacillating because of Amazon's recent position to remove DEI and a lot of things around DEI as an organization. I am looking for another partner to host and sell my books. I know Amazon is the super highway for books and for many things, but I really take a stand about organizations that are anti-DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. As a certified human resources professional, it is not lost on me that I'm only able to write a book. I'm only able to be where I am today because I stand on the broad shoulders of many African American women and men, many African born persons of African descent who gave their lives for the cause of freedom and gave their lives so that there would be an equitable opportunity for me in this country and in this world. And so I am rethinking um, having the book on Amazon. I think I found a partner where I may be able to have the book. It is, though, available currently on Amazon, and I would still encourage you to get your copy of it. In addition to that, All Shades of Girl is a book that I've authored for little girls and their sisters and mothers who read with them, for those that have ever experienced colorism. This book is not, this QR code will not take you to Amazon. It will take you to my Shopify store. I've already moved this book to the Shopify store. And provided that my partner is able to do the same thing, you'll see the other book there. But this book is available. It is both a book, a coloring book and reading book for little girls, I would say around the age of 8, and their sisters and mothers who will read with them to explore their self-identity, to ensure that they understand that the creator, the essential, the quintessential love has colored every little girl beautiful. And I wanted to get this book out because I wanted little girls not to be thinking that because Kamala Harris was called a DEI hire, because she was called unqualified, I want every little girl to know that they are qualified. They're qualified to be whatever they want to be, and they've been colored beautiful. So I hope you will support this movement. Sonia Sharice, who is a member of the Love and Stuff community and a member of the Gratefulness Journey every day. It is loosely based on her experience as a young girl, and she experienced colorism and was bullied and picked on. And I want every little girl to understand, who may be experiencing something similar, that you've been colored beautiful, and we want you to rise to your best self and be all that God has created you to be. We also have gear around that Color Me Beautiful. We have the t-shirt that's available. We have Color Me Beautiful long sleeve power girl power shirts. We also still have the sweatshirts. All of these come in multiple sizes and colors. Just a few colors are being shown here. And we also have the youth long sleeve performance tee for younger girls that's also available, and it comes in multiple colors and sizes as well. So I wanted to make sure that that is there, so that you hopefully will take a look at the product and determine whether or not it is something you want to support. It's a movement. It's not just gear to me. It's not just a book to me. It's the hope that every little girl will come into a healthy esteem and embrace the greatness within her. And I think every little girl should have that early start, because this world is proving to us just how cruel it is. So we've got to, we got to arm our girls with the knowledge and strength and power that will make them be all that they can be. All right. So again, this is the gear, and the book is called All Shades of Girl, Color Me Beautiful. It's a coloring book. They can color as they go. It has affirmations in the book. It has coloring pages in the book, and it has a wonderful story, several chapters that tell you about the story of this little girl, Sharice, and her journey through colorism and how she's learning to be colored beautiful. It introduces other characters in the school, and there will be 3, well, I don't know how many series of the books there will be, but there will be other series of the books coming up. as we continue the story of All Shades of Girl. And if you really enjoy it, and I hope that you do and share it, hopefully it will garner the attention of Oprah, because I have a cartoon idea that I'd love to share with her. And little girls can again awaken on Saturday morning to some wholesome cartoons that help them embrace their self-identity. So that's part of the vision and goal. And I hope that you will lock in with that with us on the vision. I also want to mention that I've recently been named one of the top U.S. mentors for Top Mate, which is a mentor platform. And so if you're looking for a life coach or looking for someone to help you along your career, I've been named one of the top mentors in the U.S., and I'm very pleased and proud. And that's one way that you can connect with me there. All right. I want to share this last little commercial before we go. That is from MJ from Shahs of Sunset. I often share this commercial, and I'm so appreciative of her and her work with her husband, who used gratefulness, the practice of gratefulness and gratitude, to help him with his temper. And I want to tell you that it's a powerful practice that if you consistently do it for 30 days, you will see it transform your life. So I want to share this with you.
Marcus, I want to congratulate you on Love and Stuff. I really want you to know that staying grateful and understanding the power of what it is to be operating out of a space of abundance and gratitude is the most important part of every journey of every day. So Marcus June, congratulations on this book. It's on Amazon now. That makes me so proud of you and your family and me and my family, and every single person around us gets it. So good on you for bringing it into the hands and the laps and the Kindles of all the people. Okay, so we're going to check it out. Can't wait to learn more.
I want to thank MJ so much for that little commercial. Shout out to the book. Again, it's the Gratefulness Journey every day. What are you doing in the next 30 days to transform your life? Whether you're watching live on Facebook and all of the love groups, on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube events, or on Twitch TV, I'm thankful and excited that you're here. I hope you will do one more thing, that you will click share. Tag 5 of your closest friends, connections, subscribers, followers, to join us in an extraordinary journey this year as we thrive in love in 2025. The Love and Stuff community is here to be a part of your journey to up your love game in your life, one relationship at a time, starting with the quintessential love, yourself, and your neighbor as yourself. I'm Marcus Holmes, the love activist. I'm advocating for a better love for you and I hope you will join me in that pursuit.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm, yeah. Born and bred, saved by love, count my blessings.